Phase through it, but I feel like either the wall is going to stop him from engaging, in
or
which
it's going to
case,
do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. There's great wall angles, or it's a completely useless spell. So we'll be Onivia mid lane. You know,
We have a gank.
we have a gank top side. Wonder very quickly running away from the Scorpion, but a flash in from Skumon, definitely nice. The axe to come through the undertow. Wonder nowhere to go. First blood for G2. You said action on the top side. We're seeing it now, and now Skeens is going to try to 2v1. That was not good, my guy.
I mean, LeBron is going to die if they go for it, but if they can kill Yopa, it's worth.
Taunt through, doesn't quite get the flash. Knockback is there. LeBron is going to die, but oh, so is Mickey. Hansama debating.
From Prison Mind. Oh, doesn't go for it.
Through.
He was thinking about it, but I think he needed 4 auto attacks to kill Yopa. It's 3 or 4. If he could kill him in 2, then he could just do auto attack W, insta reset, right? And then flash out, but decided not to go for it. Ends up being a 1-for-1. And Yopa had to base before Hansama crashed the wave, so that does mean that Yopa is going to lose out on a minion wave. But now Skumon is behind Wonder. Wonder still no flash.
Sure. To the skies. Remember, blow back. Trying to buy time for the rest of the team to get there. Keep your eyes on that mini-map. Jungle with support on the way. Mickey and Skeen trying to come in, as is LeBron. Full 3v3, but SK behind the play thus far. Wonder going to die before the play even starts. Now Skeens and Mickey, just spectators to their top laner's demise. And this is going from uncomfortable to bad quite quickly, Jack.
I feel like Wonder could have lived. Like, he could have just paths to the right with the Storm Raider Surge proc, but instead, I think he thought that if he buys enough time, Skeens and Mickey can come, but...
And they did
just
just in time. And the wall has been leveraged. Caps cannot get around it, but the gravity field is good too. Skeens warp hopping forward. Sonic Wave connects. Caps still getting the Scuttle Crab movement speed, trying to get tricky with it. Mickey moving into cover to make sure Skeens can get this kill. No way for LeBron to contest. And that Skeens getting one back.
Really nice gank from Skeens there. Caps flashed the initial Q from Skeens, but wasn't able to get out. Skumon could look for a dive on top. I think they should have the damage. Wonder does have flash though. If he's able to flash like a crucial CC and buy time, well, he already cleared most of the wave.
Oh, axe missing is big. Getting a chunk on Broken Blade as well.
Really good defensive moves there from Wonder. Denies any sense of a dive. If he wasn't able to clear the wave and the wave got under tower, easily Skumon and Broken Blade could just one-shot him there, but burn his flash just for that. Well, all of SK's support in general are here. Help cover for Wonder. Skumon's in the area though, so should dissuade any sort of dive possibility for SK. But Broken Blade needs to be careful. He dies very fast here.
He does. The Q lands from Skeens. Broken Blade is a dead man. Even the Skarner can't get here in time. Nice conversion coming in from Broken Blade. Body block there. Wonder going to finish it with a thundering blow. But the Heartsteel is there for Skumon to make sure he gets one in return. Slow Q has TP. Are doing their job. Partially because Wonder doesn't do a ton of damage yet, but also Hansama didn't get hit by that Chalk Blast, so I'd say mission accomplished.
Yopa needs to be careful.
Lock up. Hansama, good damage to come through. Nice satchel to try and escape. Both Yop and Hansama really low, but on the hunt and the heal. More than enough movement speed. Good burst damage coming through, but that flash not doing much of anything as the Stand United ensures that there's no follow-up angle for Skeens. And Skumon in the meantime gets the Drake, so really...
As now Caps might be in trouble. TP.
Well played. Caps locked up. Slowq's still standing in the storm, and LeBron is on the way. And Slowq needs to be careful here. He's going to get egged, but he will not go down. Caps finally drops. Mickey debating if they can follow up. A nice little counter punch there to give Slowq a bit of an edge in that 1v1 matchup, but it's a quick TP from Broken Blade just to ensure that SK can't get much else.
Especially like once Hansama gets 4 items, that's when this becomes a really nice Sivir game. The only thing is Hansama is pretty reliant on his front line to create space for him since he's up against so many long-range carries. As Caps is not on the tower.
Slowq and Mickey holding hands through this entire game, and Caps cannot make it out of the Glacial Storm, so will finally fall. Now that Roa started stacking up and there's a bit more AP, a bit more... he'd be tied, but he kept missing playoffs there for a little while. Jankos, Wonder, so many people on that list, so many legendary names. That's part of the reason why we always talk about the history of these teams. Sometimes over the present, that Cloud Drake.
Yeah, G2 are dropping it. They're pushing in top. They want to maybe try to go for more. They're going to get the tier 1, but I don't think they can get the tier 2. Just get a deep push on Broken Blade. I think SK can be pretty happy with this, especially with the fact that they got Hansama's flash as well. So now with Nash up and available, if they're able to get a good insect from Skeens or get a good wall from Slowq and take Hansama down, they could easily start the Nash, as now Yopa gets the mid tower.
I don't remember most of them, but I know it's happened at least once.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. It's now Skeens lurking, waiting in the darkness. Wonder versus Caps. Brothers fighting. Stand United up and available. Leeson getting pounded into the wall. Taunt blast coming in for LeBron. Wonder taken out. They were trying to bully Caps, but this time his boys were there. There's no... Very tame, very controlled game. Mickey Schemes, the playmakers now for SK in this game state, is Wonder sent them to the top side to try to hold the wave. 5 members of G2 on the bottom side of the map. Taunting through now is LeBron. A bit premature to kick things off. A nice wall to block off Hansama, but not quite perfect positioning. Ulti goes completely wide from Yappa, and now there's a raging Viking standing behind him. Gonna start ripping through his health bar. He just wanted to have a pool party, but it's absolutely not happening. Broken Blade, another wall to delay the push, but G2 with a nice quick fight to ensure their control over this Drake.
And Broken Blade, he came out of nowhere with a steel chair. Takes down Yoppa. Yoppa tries to flash.
There is enough damage now for Caps' ulti to get those quick resets. Schemes not super tanky right now, working towards the Death Dance. Might help a bit, but we just went from 1,000, about 2,000 gold lead from a couple side lane players from G2 to 4,000 in their favor, and that's Drake's. Mickey trying to swing things back a little bit, at least punish Lebrov, but Onivia, not the best follow-up champion in the extended play, however, it might be enough. One more staggering blow and another second here, waiting on that cooldown. Wonder on the way in. Lebrov will finally fall.
A slow death.
It's a slow game. They have time. They have the bandwidth, the resources. Wonder gonna have to flash over this wall. Nice angle coming in from Skewmon. Broken Blade might have an axe to kick this one off, but he does have an ulti. The chase now coming in. Mickey, a dead man walking, quick ulti flash to try to make it over the wall, distracting Hansama as he cues out. Spider Knot, praying for a brand new day. There's not gonna happen though. He's about to die. G2 keeping the fight going. Good ulti across the top, but again, only connecting on LeBron. In goes Skis, his body, telling him yes, his mind, telling him yes, but now he's gonna be saying hell no, because it's Caps on the flank. 0-3-0, but still getting in there to make the play happen. Now all the way up to 3-3-1. As SK falling apart.
And SK, they got away. I don't think they'll lose the Nash just yet, but G2 are in firm control of this game. So they're able to take down 2. Maybe they will go for the Nash after all. Slowq doesn't have TP. Yoppa has his. But this Nash actually goes down pretty damn fast.
Just
and then BB does the rest, I think. Especially with Caps, if he can provide a little bit of damage as well. I mean, the one thing that SK
That's
does
a 4-item Sivers.
I mean, he's gonna do a lot, but he doesn't need to do a lot.
He doesn't need to. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it can be the Broken Blade show.
It can be.
Until then, Skewmon is pretty unkillable. So it's tough for SK. They can clear the waves, they can kill the minions, but killing G2's front line is tough. Luckily, G2's front line is not here. Broken Blade going to try to 1v5. Hansama pushed hard. It might not be enough though. Broken Blade still living. Gets burnt to a crisp by the Ignite. As Skeens is going right back in. The front line has finally arrived, but it might be too little too late. Now, that said, Skewmon is officially unkillable. Let's see how long it takes. 10 seconds, 20 seconds. The 80 damage is here. Will it be enough? Yes, it will be. Skewmon will finally fall. Physical damage there for the side of SK to finish up that kill.
And it's a pretty big throw from G2, as SK should be able to pick up this dragon now as well and set themselves on soul point. Although Hansama and Lebrov want to look for the cheese. Skeens face checks.
Quick taunt, hop back to Mickey. Getting low, does have access to the GA. Hansama could be in trouble. Nice hook to interrupt with a GA proc. That's devastating. Lebrov now looking for the angle and the setup. Yappa on the way and flashback from Skeen. Sonic Wave connects. Resonating strike ready to come through. Good hook from Mickey. Down goes Lebrov, and now it's Hansama trapped in the pit. A 1v1 with the dragon. Ziggs ulti across the top, burning his bell shield. Now Hansama's forced to flash away as Caps continues to poke. Mickey's still going forward. No one is here to back him up. It's a one-way trip, but he's happy to take someone with him as SK continue to set their sights on the Cloud Drake. G2 might have gotten that in him in the top lane, but they lost a ton in the process.
It's a huge play for SK. It's 4-4-1. Disastrous. A lot of shutdowns giving across the board.
SK trying to find a way to get in here, but don't have great vision coverage. Maybe just hoping for the 50-50, but now Skewmon coming over the wall, locking up Slowq. A nice W from Caps to split the fight in the meantime, as double TPs are now coming in. Arriving to the fight is Broken Blade, but at low health, his Skeens isn't quite sure if he wants that play. Ulti from Yoppa, not great. Only hitting the edge onto Caps, and both sides walking away a bit bruised. And I think you're getting close to seeing the ideal SK team fight there, but because Mickey went so deep, you see both the Glacial Storm and the Minefield used in a choke point. The G2 just booked, from Mickey is going a bit wide as Slowq tries to land some poke of his own. Broken Blade kicking things off, eating a ton of damage before the fight kicks off. They're going to try to burst through that health bar. Ulti across the entire team. Again, not hitting onto key members of G2, however. Mickey's ulti, the depth charge, connects on the Caps with the fall damage in there. Now Wonder's just going to burn to death. The Knight's Vow comes in, but it's just too little. It's not nearly enough as G2 walk down Wonder. And SK looking a little bit dizzy in these fights.
But how did G2 do it? They're magicians. This fight looked so bad in the beginning. Broken Blade was just going in and dying. Yet the fight somehow turns again into a 1-for-0 for them as Mickey hooks in.
He hooks in and maybe sent just right back to the fountain. Skewmon debating if he wants to keep dashing forward. Taunt Flash comes in for Lebrov. flash back from slowq was good, but it's Skeens who's gotten the maws of G2. A G8 procced. Gonna come right back to life just to die once again. Hansama taking down Skeens. Not the explosive 5v5 we were expecting, but a very G2 favored one as they pretty effortlessly cut through all of SK.
G2 just make magic happen back to back as they find the fight that they were looking for, and now they're gonna pick up another Nasher. And already with an open inhibitor in top, they can look to get triple inhibitor and secure themselves positions for Soul. He doesn't have now going into this Nash defense.
Yeah, and one of the big things we talked about was the poke of this SK comp, but it really hasn't worked out too well, and you can see when they walk into close range, again, Caps, who started the game pretty far behind, essentially one-tapped Wonder. Q, auto, death ray, ulti across the dot. Wonders immediately dies. Now, if he gets to start with poke, he might be able to one-shot Caps as well, but Caps has the Zanyas, Caps has the front line, so much of SK's all-in just is pretty meaningless. As you can see, that's like an auto and a half. Mickey already losing half of his HP, even through the Celestial opposition. But again, we have a Ziggs and we have an Onivia. So if there's anything we will have, it is a decent amount of game time. Is Yopa finally connecting on a key target with that ulti. Broken Blade.
I think like 5 HP with the death stance. He just barely lives there. That could have been the comeback that SK needed to make a fight happen. Broken Blade, he doesn't have the teleport at least, so he's still going to be out of the fray, but SK used too many tools. They can't make an engage happen. That's 2 inhibitors for G2, and they can recall now and set up bot side and play again, or they can just rotate straight to bot and continue playing the Nash. They're going to take the recall.
Yep, slow, steady, controlled, 90 seconds until Cloud Soul. But you have a 6,000 gold lead and a full build Sivir.
Someone TP towards top side here. I think he wants to go for the red buff. I thought they would just siege bot lane and open up the third inhibitor, but they want to kill slowq.
The bird. Cap chasing, and if they kill slowq, they probably just end the game here. There's nowhere for him to go. Gets egged, now will die as well. Ulti from Yopa not dealing nearly enough damage as SK are being zoned away from their own fountain. Minion-empowered melee creeps and casters going to be enough here for G2 to break open the base of SK. Wonder going for the 1v1 with Broken Blade. LeBron interrupts, but I don't think he would have won it anyway. Skeens desperately trying to hold the line, but despite their best efforts, SK picked apart in the mid and late game. G2 outscaling and outplaying in this game 1.
And it was a nice attempt by SK. They held on. He finds a roam timer. It's so incredibly strong. And if you get a lead, the snowball potential of this champion is just probably the highest out of any meta champion right now.
Weird. Yeah, it is.
Skirmishes able to pick up the dragon, and the Brov is now looking to gank top lane.
So they're still pulling a bit ahead in gold as Yappa finally no scatter.
Okay.
Flash over from Hansama. One more bomb. Dark Sphere. Comet doesn't connect.
Oh, but Yappa
still going in. Broken Blade, sidestep. Mickey moving in, mounted up on the horse, trying to take out his former top laner. Wonder getting chunked down. First blood, though. Wonder barely able to escape. LeBron can't make it out. Yappa kills Hansama. SK. We cast her curse G2. They turn it around.
The Bro might be dead as well. Skeens is here, has the flash, has the cyclone.
Want to commit to Liliana. Eclipse.
They don't decide to go for 2 kills for SK as they win on both top and bot. Hansama tried to go for the outplay on Syndra, but didn't quite have the damage with Yopa flashing the phosphorus bomb.
Okay, meanwhile, falling not.
slowq
going all in. Purgatory, domain expansion, dash in, get out! Oh, you love to see it. The weaves. Love every moment, but now the dog on the chase, and slowq probably just dead. 240 health healed up. Not going to be able to get back to pick up that soul. And Skewmon, happy to just grab a kill in return.
Yopa flashed the phosphorus bomb. He's kind of cooked here. And then Yopa can walk around, and he has the faster lane, right? So now Hansama is pretty much always going to be dead here. Oh, but he has like 2 HP. Very close there.
So she just kind of gets to dance around you. And now Hansama is going to be in trouble once again. Mickey lining up, Shattering Strike connect this time into immediate scatter the weak. Hansama can't even push his buttons. The exhaust is there, but they lack just that tiny bit of damage. Skewmon now coming over the wall. Mickey, a dead man walking. Skewmon waiting for an angle to throw down the ulti. It's just coming off cooldown. Is Mickey likely to die to the minions? He's channeling in with the Hex Flash. Quick stun to follow, but he will drop in the end. It looked like a picture perfect across the entire map. slowq using the ritual nails to go in. Now in melee range of Caps, though, definitely not ideal. Solar Flare going a little bit wide. The healing coming in from slowq. Forced to use his ulti. Exhaust is there too. Yappa trying to move in, but the burn damage, the Eclipse, gonna finish him off. Not gonna be able to grab that extra soul now, but Yappa hoping to finish up this kill. Pullback is there from Mickey, and Yappa grabs another. Caps hasn't been able to finish the Roa either. Trying to get tricky with it. Knocks you into the wall. One Silver Bolt's nowhere to go. The point click ulti. The clone not enough to save him. It looks weird from Broken Blade, right? Why is he going for that angle? But perfect coordination with his jungler makes it all come together.
And his damage was so much higher than I expected. It's not that they win the 2v2, but Skirmon jumps in on Skeens.
Going on to Skeens, immediately forces Cyclone. Now Hansama's going to jump in. This could be a lot of burst damage. Follow-up spin coming in from Skeens. Turns invisible for a brief moment, but Skirmon is just going to go for the chase here. The pack called, flash in, daggers, smite to the side. The dog's now looking to chase a fall, but Skeens still living for an extra moment. The shutdown is there. Yoppa! 3-0-0, having a hell of a game.
And slowQ gets
Flash
the
in
roam
from
on
Broken Blade. Exhaust, a little bit extra shielding coming in. That's the lock of the Iron Solari from Mickey, but now it's Mickey himself who's in trouble. Crash down to stay living. Mega there just in time. G2 so close to getting that kill. Wonder still walking forward. Needs to connect onto Broken Blade. Instead, they're going to focus on LeBron. Wallop is there. Looks like LeBron will just be sacrificed as the Gnar comes out from Wonder, and they're going to turn that play right around on G2.
And SK, they strike back with the top laner's fine. It's now SK able to potentially get the Drake here.
Keep in mind, G2 have already grabbed the Herald, already ahead in the grubs as well. So SK very much behind in the objective game, and with that Herald picked up, will be behind in gold, but at least they keep things even in terms of the Drakes.
Another Cloud.
Another Cloud Soul.
Who do we favor this game for the Cloud? I think pretty good for both.
It's pretty good for both.
Although Vayne with Cloud Soul is crazy.
Vayne, already pretty hard for any of these champions to get away from a Vayne. I think it's more, can you one-shot her, or will she run you down?
I think especially this game, since she doesn't have Ghost, as you sometimes run on main top, the Cloud Soul would be very nice on her.
Now there's the charge. That's going to be the golden flux that G2 kind of earned previously by securing that first objective. A little turn to the side from Skewmon just to hit Wonder on his way to the tower. Doesn't do much, but
he works as a meta melee assassin. Oh. So SK are going for a dive on top.
Dog spotting him out. Forcing a flash as well as the W coming in. Skeens on the top side of the fight, exhausted by Broken Blade, but just the clone going to be auto-attacked as Mickey just continues to run. Ulti coming out from Skewmon on the chase. Massive damage. Reset is there, and Yoppa might be in trouble, but slowQ ready to go over the wall. Purgatory picked up. LeBron looks like he might be first to fall. The exhaust still ticking. slowQ taking down LeBron, grabbing another soul there from Purgatory.
Tumbles well, uses the invisibility from the ultimate. Broken Blade can have a real montage in these fights, and he's certainly strong enough to do so as well, as G2 want to reclaim the territory here.
CC onto Skeens, Aftershock proc for LeBron. Has to be careful not to step too far forward. Broken Blade's going to find the angle. Immediate one-shot on Yoppa. Perfect use of the stealth as well as the Condemn. slowQ now running for his life. Mickey hoping maybe to find the disengage. Broken Blade keeps chasing forward. He will land the Shattering Strike, but SK already too much on the back foot. Flash back from Broken Blade. Wonder had a flash of his own, but happy to just get that one for free.
Broken Blade find the Condemn onto Yoppa to give them that dragon. He went a little bit too deep later and had to burn the flash, and we'll see if that will cost him in the later fights. But with that, it's going to be the dragon going over for G2 and no fight for SK.
Right. G2 are just going to out-damage them in the extended play, and it's so hard for SK to lock down these members of G2. You can see them pretty effortlessly just walking away, but Wonder free stacking on the Brav right now on the raid, forcing the G2 retreat. Solar Flare going a little bit wide, but Wonder losing some health in return. Dash in, flash in, and it's Caps now. He's been locked up, but it's Broken Blade on the flank looking to lock up slowQ. Mickey hoping for the interrupt. Double exhaust now traded back as Skeens manages to take down Caps. Yoppa on the bottom side of the fight, getting pushed back by Skewmon, who's going to dash again over the wall to try and retreat. Hansama and Broken Blade, double 80 carries, still standing. slowQ, Wonder, Skeens, a man advantage, but it's enough to win the fight. The nails coming through for slowQ. The reset to take him out, a flash away, matched by Hansama as the double buffs allow him to...
doing so, Yoppa is now exposed to the Neferi in the back lines, and that means that G2's backline can now go forwards. But we don't have time to talk about that. Mickey's caught,
another fight,
and he's dead.
Mickey caught, Mickey down, and you can see in that fight again, G2 beautifully taking Yoppa.
Odo said it really well, that it's kind of like a Katarina. Not in the sense that if you get one reset, the game is immediately won, but just that he needs to get that initial reset, because that's what allows him to have that mobility. Now Caps might be in trouble here.
Action, spin on the Caps. Purgatory already pulled out. Two members locked up, and now it's Skewmon who's in trouble. Reset is there, but they're going to back away as it's double TPs from G2. Double 80 carries joining the fray. Hansama and Broken Blade will not let the push in the top lane, looking to knock down that tower. Overall, SK pretty content with that exchange. 1 for 1, and they get that tower.
Yeah, Broken Blade wanted
rage again, let alone get that bar completely full. Crash down, out, has demounted. Skewmon on the flank. Solar Flare forcing the flash out of Yoppa. It's a slow burn of a fight. Both sides waiting for the perfect angle. Skewmon, good flank, jumps over the wall, grouping with the team. 50-50 territory. Skeens dashing in, objective, getting lower, manages to grab it, and then his instant one-shot onto LeBron. Purgatory landing onto 2, but the chase not quite there. G2 don't want to risk overcommitting, but now Broken Blade sees an angle, dashes in with the ulti. That they are. Look, 500 gold difference between these two teams, now tied on Drakes. A basically dead even game.
Brooklyn has...
G2 don't have the luxury of scaling now. Dash in with the action pursuit from slowQ. He's going to be in trouble now. Burning, running away. The slow still taking on him, but Wonder trying to hold the line as best he can. Ulti goes onto the clone, it looks like, but it's an exhaust on the Opa, so the fall damage really isn't there. Mickey on the flank with absolutely no HP, but Wonder from downtown finds the Nor ulti and exhaust. Not enough to stop him, but his Caps taking down everybody else. In the meantime, it's a double kill for Wonder, but not nearly enough to take the fight as G2 take down 4. I feel like the kid with 2 action figures where you just hit them together against each other. That's the moment I'm waiting for. And I get that this is
We've got some of that. I mean, that last fight was kind of like that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of that. But both sides are really just playing to the limit.
Well, G2 seem like they want to fulfill your wish. They've started off the Nash. Now SK need to try to find a way to enter.
But you can see it's pretty easy for G2 to just two-man this. Again, they have 3 people who can shred through a Nash. Solar Flare going wide, though, is big. You brought it up before. That's really the only reliable engagement. But flash over the wall from Caps. That's a damn good way to get that fight shifted in their favor. In the blink of an eye, the staring contest easily won. But now Mickey with the re-engage. slowQ waiting for the resets. Can he find another? Wonder waiting for the setup. Dash back in on the action pursuit, but slowQ just doesn't have the damage to finish it. Flashes over the wall, but he's burning down. Skewmon to get another. Wonder will take down Caps, but it costs him just about everything. Skewmon continuing to chase. Dash is away from the wall. It was close, but G2 take the fight. And Skewmon gets a triple.
And it was so close, but it's an ace for G2, and it's going to be the Nash for G2 as well. As I think Skewmon and LeBron should be able to just do all this with the Wolves tanking up the Nash. That feels like maybe that was the last opportunity that SK had in this series. And I thought when Mickey got this fantastic engage, I think if slowQ doesn't go into the Zonias here, maybe
holding on.
Broken Blade barely got clipped by the stun there, so he's not able to have the damage to take down Wonder. As he is on a long flank here by Skins. He doesn't have the ultimate nor the exhaust. Has the flash though.
Flash. Good damage. Spinning on top of Broken Blade. Flash away. Nice condemn backwards on the second Cyclone, but a flash in from Skins finishes the job. G2 at least break the bottom lane tier 2 tower, so the Baron push from G2 slowed. The gold lead still very heavily in their favor, but the impact of this Red Bull Baron power play going to be somewhat mitigated
Mickey?
unless...
They're on a ward, so Mickey knew. Just wants to waste their time and try to cancel some of the recalls from G2.
And it's still almost 3,000 in favor of G2, and more importantly, Soul Point. The next Cloud would give them that Cloud Soul, and SK absolutely cannot afford to let happen as that Solar Flare does connect. Wonder locked up. Immediate response now coming in. The Hound pursuit from Skewmon trying to chase, but Skeens has found his way on top of Hansama, and this might just be enough to lock him out of the fight. Hansama already quickly retreating though. It's only LeBron to drop thus far. SK see an angle to get even more.
I think Wonder though is going to be really, really strong in these fights if he's able to time that Mega Narc transition well, but Caps is in trouble here.
Purgatory on a Caps. Nice backstep from slowQ, moving in with the Ashen Pursuit to try to finish the job. Caps buys a couple extra seconds, waits for the Purgatory to fall away at the very least, but that's a shutdown for slowQ.
That's a Caps set for 60 seconds. There's no objective up and available, but SK can look to siege for the mid and the top tower at least. And if SK can find a fight here, this could be the end of the game. But G2, they know this. They don't want to give them that fight. They're just going to respect and drop both the mid and the top tower.
Broken Blade trying to offer at least one pressure point for the side of G2 Esports. Recalling before staying around for another wave as he doesn't see anyone. So I think unaware that Caps is waiting in that brush. SK forced to group up like this as G2 just takes so much space. Broken Blade continued to force, did use his ultimate as Mickey gets lower and lower. Dash in onto Hansama, 2 members locked up by the Cyclone. Yopa immediately ult, and that's a reset coming in for slowQ. He chases down Hansama, but an ulti responded to by Skewmon. He can't stick to the target, it's the death ball of SK. Caps looking for a way in, incredible backstep on the petrifying gaze from Skeens. Keeps this fight alive as Wonder desperate to keep the engage going, but the triple carries on the side of G2 are still here, and it's SK to pick up a soul point of them. Forced to walk in, but it's SK who are split up. Yopa, who is isolated. This is very dangerous for the Syndra. Wonder fully stacking the Mega. Yopa coming over the wall, back to his team. Skeens and Mickey hoping to find a play. G2 collapsing on Mickey, knowing that he is the big playmaking tool. Carries of G2 stepping forward, trying to take a bit of a space. Exhaust from Mickey. Mickey about to get taken down. Skeens looking for a re-engage of his own. Nice backstep on the Solar Flare, but Mickey already forced out of the fight. Mickey already deleted. No Baron in sight. Skeens forced into GA. SK crumbling. The collapse on the Mickey paying off beautifully for G2. And Skeens about to fall. The coordination non-existent. Broken Blade looking to make a quick montage as slowQ and Wonder are on the way out. But the Hound's pursuit is there. Skewmon on the chase. slowQ hoping desperately to get anything back. But all that's left
is one little Yordle and a dream. A TP into the bottom lane as Wonder desperately tries to hold on, but even the wallop is not enough. G2 set to end it here.
G2, they found the fight. They got the ace. Caps can TP in the bot lane, and he's going to finish it up. The death timers are too long for them to be able to hold on. And it was SK. They didn't quite have the damage to finish the Nash. They didn't have the greatest turn. And G2 could kite them out, take down Mickey. Mickey's up in 2 seconds, but the rest of the carries are still dead for 20. G2 should be able to just finish this game nice and clean.
Simply too far away. One terrible fight for G2 into a nearly perfect one, as SK did not get another opportunity to use that combo. It's a full-on fountain dive. Farewell to arms for a former brother as G2 clean this one up nicely. 2-0 in the series versus SK, moving up.
Game. Fnatic's front line is way, way tankier. The Alistar, the Zahan, especially if he gets that revive, can absorb so much damage. While MCOY, they don't quite have a shotgun comp, but it does.
Wanting to paint the picture to start here as things are going pretty well for JoJo already. Week 2 continuing to look good as Vladdy still doesn't have a flash. Wouldn't have been able to use it anyway. Important to note as he was grounded. But the graphic we were showing there.
Bringing into the league. Fnatic. Oh, Lospa.
Upa, flash away. It's a good fall damage for Upset. Immediate exhaustion to be burned. Barrier as well as some body blocking with the clone. Love that from Alvaro, just to eat at least one of those Mystic shots. But the fully stacked lethal tempo making things easy for Upset. Unfortunately now LeC has arrived. It's Lospa who's going to grab a kill. Fnatic still like the angle on this fight. Lospa likely to fall, but Upset looking for an angle to maybe turn onto Alvaro. Fully stacked on the Rising Spell Force. A ton of attack speed.
Lospa is looking for another cheese. Zupa is in danger here.
Completely caught out here. Has level 6, but he's got nowhere to go. He's just going to dash back, get stunned midair anyway. Fnatic going to take their time walking him down. No one else is nearby. And this is the second time we've seen, I think, the good news is the rest of the map is doing pretty well as LeC comes flying down from the sky. Vladdy, no flash available and in trouble. Lospa doing his best to body block. Ulti across the team is good from Upset as Razor keeps this fight going. And once again, it's Supa who's in trouble. Oh, God, no. Oh, Supa. I'm sorry, brother. It's a rough one. That blast cone takes him absolutely nowhere as he's once again sent back to the fountain.
Both teams are taking turns bullying here. Oh, Saboro though. Mirwin going in.
Grim Deliverance, nice pull back into the tower, respond with a public execution. Saboro has flash, as does Mirwin. Whoop. Find out space here. Good play from Mirwin. Saboro flash in, one auto, still gets the knockup, dash forward, Saboro! The solo kill! IG top laner! Narrative, Demacia Cup champion.
From the LPL,
Narrative.
The first solo kill in the LEC up against the Titan of Mirwin.
That was good though. Good job, Saboro.
Yeah.
Mirwin, I like that he's playing on the edge there,
JoJo.
but just a bit of a miscalculation. Or was it all part of his master plan to feed more gold into JoJo, who just stares at Saboro a little bit, and then it's just going to bite him. Oh, nope.
No way.
Oh, no. No. That's
Does he
don't. Okay, they got the kill. Oh, they got the kill.
Is here. Upset might have bit off a bit more than he can do here.
Desperate for the play. What's it going to cost him? It was a wave that cost Supa's life, but Lospa doing a good job of making some space here, trying to punish. Ulti in anticipation of Alvaro's ultimate. It was a little bit premature, and now Upset. It's still alive! It's still alive! He flashes out a vision! It's a disaster! Saboro's here for some reason, offering himself upon the altar in exchange!
What?
What? Okay, or did it just barely not do enough damage at the end there?
It didn't do enough damage, I think. And
Oh,
then,
he does get Supa on the way out. Okay, so not terrible.
yeah, but Supa also could have just not walked into him and lived as well.
But MCOY got Drake. So who's laughing now as they hold on to a 1.2? Certainly.
But it does feel like, I think, it always feels like there's one member on MCOY that's a little bit off and not having a great game. And usually it felt like in the last few splits that it was Mirwin. Sure. But now Mirwin has been pretty consistent, as I think I just cursed him and he might be dead.
You did. Q flash in, looking good from Razor. Mirwin trying to walk his way out of this one, but there's really no way to escape. Bro tries to finish with the Grim Deliverance, but one more auto from Razor to get the job done. Great job. That is at Jack Spectra on Twitter. He caster cursed. It's all his fault.
Okay, my bad on that one. Good flash from Razor. As Lospa goes in here, scatter the weak land. Salvaro.
Vladdy. Easy point and click follow-up. Alvaro vulnerable, but now LeC moving in to try and salvage the play. Lospa slowly but surely getting chunked down. His Upset tries to backstep. Razor also on the way in, though. Aegis Assault can be used by LeC, but keep your eyes on JoJo. Flash over the wall to follow the instantaneous ulti. And now it's Supa on the chase, looking for a bit of redemption as he grabs the double.
At Fnatic, you don't have the damage. You can't.
Highs aren't as high, so it's not as crazy when we do see it happen. But now we really are in a situation where MCOY has fully regained control of this game. Fnatic doing their best to set up here around the Herald. No flash for JoJo. Flashes for Supa, for Alvaro. Herald already down. Alvaro hoping for the play. Nice Q interrupt to keep things going. That's going to be public execution along the back line. Immediate fall coming from Saboro. Vladdy on the flank, but it's JoJo coming in from behind with the miasma, looking for a little bit more as Lospa gets very squishy once the unbreakable will falls apart. Upset running for his life. Hex flash.
There's Razork, there's Lospa, there's Saboro. They just need to hit the first target and then they can run them down after the fact. Now 2 dragons for MCOY. The game is starting to look like, I wouldn't say it's unthrowable yet, but it's pretty close. As Vladdy's now caught, might just die.
Vladdy is probably just going to burn to death here. JoJo Pune grabs that one. Lock it a little bit late from Lospa. Now Supa gets to fly in. Start wiping up these kills. Lospa running for his life.
I'm going to say it. It's unthrowable for MCOY. 5,000 gold lead, 2 dragons. Well, they're getting mid tower. Like, how do Fnatic win fights?
I don't know.
Go.
MCOY, dude, you have to remember. Look, this is the thing about the Karpas. Sometimes they're the Magic Karpas, they're just struggling, and sometimes they're the Gyarados. And just because they're the Gyarados right now doesn't mean they can't devolve, brother. Doesn't mean they can't go right back to flopping around in the water.
Really wants to kill Mirwin.
That he does. But Elyoya is on the way. They're both at 2 items.
Saboro's here as well.
Okay.
They're
All right,
going
Mirwin
to kill Mirwin no matter what.
Knockback on Mirwin is good. Mirwin will fall. Elyoya will allow him to drop. Not going to move in to try to get anything else on the map, but keep in mind, mid lane is being pushed at the same time. Top lane is being pushed at the same time. It is a huge investment from Fnatic to find that kill and to hope to find that tower. Shutdowns, or bounties, excuse me, are available. So we'll get a decent amount of gold back, but they're going to lose more and more control over these waves in this map stage.
There's a good def by Mirwin. I think Fnatic, they're just overcommitted, but they don't really have any other play. They lose any sort of equal numbers fight, so they have to look for these sort of plays, but now Elyoya might have overcommitted.
Knock up there. No one else on the team with a global to support Elyoya, but Alvaro is on the way in. Wallbreaker doesn't quite take Razork out. A lot of poke damage contesting, and Supa just appears out of nowhere to finish the kill. Grim Deliverance from Saboro. Doesn't quite have the damage. Yes, just barely. Gets into the revive. So much determination, but probably still just set the fall here. Good damage, not nearly enough to get anything else done, though. Supa now dominating. Vladdy being run down. Fnatic stuck around way too long in the bottom lane. Now things have been falling a bit apart as Upset tries to do some damage. They don't have any damage. Saboro now moving in, the exhaust down. JoJo Pune is finally low. Razork's now going in, but they burned everything, and JoJo lived way too long. Supa still untouched. 2.5 items. Wants to start raining down, but the burst damage is there from Fnatic. It's happening. They're devolving. The Magikarp has returned. The Gyarados is gone. Fnatic find the fight.
Fnatic gets a Nash. Are you kidding me? It's 4-0 with JoJo Pune getting caught. How does MCOY keep doing it? No way!
It's like a reverse Houdini. We're just going to need to wait for the replay. I don't know what to say. Either we're the most powerful wizards in the world for these caster curses, or this is just diabolical mid-game.
Although, Supa... Oh, he can't.
Supa, no way. Flash. Ooh, still got clipped.
I feel like he's going to die here.
Lower. He has the dopamine, though. He wants to flash and Q, kill 3 people. But he already
it does mean that MCOY is going to get themselves on soul point. We'll have to see how much Fnatic can get out of this Nash. They're going to get the tier 2 on top, but MCOY was able to push in mid and get the tier 2 mid. It feels pretty bad for Fnatic. The start of this Nasher is not what they would have hoped. To force the 50-50. And Pantheon as well with the empowered Q. Should always win the smite fights up against Razork.
The Comet Spear, ton of damage in those objective contested scenarios, as power at least will finally fall. Grouping forward, grouping up, walking further forward. Has been Vladdy. Now they all see them. Instantly, it's Alvaro. On to 4. The follow-up is there. Grim Deliverance and Saboro is going to try desperately to turn it. Supa going a little bit too far, but it might not matter. JoJo Pune holding the line as best he can with that ulti, but it's just a 1-for-1. Vladdy traded for Supa. Supa going in too soon. The objective getting lower and lower. Razork has to go in. Eyes on the Drake. Who can get the 50-50 in the end? It is MCOY, empowered now by the Mountain Soul. Easy to keep this fight going. Grand Starfall coming down. Extra movement speed. Nowhere for Upset to go. MCOY get the Soul and set their sights on the Baron.
MCOY might have just done it with the Soul, with the Baron Nashor. Looks like it might be game over for Fnatic. Where JoJo isn't 3 levels up. He isn't this monster. Maybe this... Tough start of the summer split. I hope that my cope is correct and that the level 1 from this game, that we'll see a better showing for him in game number 2, because this is not the start of the summer split that he was looking for sure. As Fnatic have pretty good wave clear with Upset's poke, but it does feel like it's just a matter of time, as MCOY should be able to break down these.
He's committed. He's a Fnatic player, and that is his death brush. Oh, gets a TP. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
This is going to be JoJo, who wanted to come back to the fight anyway, however. Now they're going to turn on to JoJo. Q flash in, instantaneous ulti. JoJo now in trouble. Nice dash back with the rocket belt. Goes gold and buys a bit more time. Supa now flying in to help him clean up the fight. JoJo getting lower, but they cannot knock that stake down. Grim determination. Going to mean a revive for Sobero, but there's just nowhere for him to go. The determination not nearly enough as Elia blocking so much fall damage, and all of Fnatic on the retreat as it's going to be the public execution to close this one out in style. A double for JoJo. An MVP performance in this game one as MCOY are going to continue their victory march.
And Fnatic, they tried as they may. You cannot take down JoJo Pune. 10-1-7. Such a great game from him, securing the win for MCOY in this game one against Fnatic.
Might have gotten messy in the middle, but trusting the process still takes them to victory here in game one in this series between MCOY and Fnatic.
That's a Gyarados on mid lane.
It's a Gyarados. Right. Is it Gyarados or Gyarados?
It's Gyarados, I think I said it wrong.
Good against the Rakan, against the Trundle, who really wanted to run into you face first. And again, we've seen, again, the beating heart of MCOY is their support jungle duo, and now they both
That
have...
guy is 4. Also for vocabulary is, oh, it's happening again! Supa running for his life, getting run down. Alvaro tried to roam, but it's costing him dearly. The 2v1 kill there, and now MCOY really desperate to get something back, but Razork is strong in these early fights. That is a beefy Trundle. Saburo flashing forward, starting to overheat. Elioya gonna fall. JoJo Pune in dire straits. It's an unmitigated disaster. The pillar coming out just in time. Now they turn it back. Mirwan sticking around to try to get something back, but Saburo is so damn strong. Alvaro just barely able to flash away, but now it is Mirwan in trouble. The red buff ticking away. The clockwork windup not quite enough. No, doesn't auto the blast cone. Doesn't have the attack speed. It's a catastrophe.
Oh my god. Yeah, you roamed up, but what did you do?
Bro.
You weren't fighting with your team
Mirwan
whatsoever.
lost a wave and a half for that play too.
And now Alvaro is dead.
Yeah.
We might be looking at a game 3 already. I'm not gonna lie.
My god. Wow.
Yo, kill him. What are we doing?
Finish the kill. Quill him.
No way we don't kill him.
Okay, he's dead, he's dead. Lost week to kill. Fnatic fans happy, rejoicing at the sudden turnaround. I can't help but feel like MCOY have gift wrapped this one.
Can they dive Supa? They can probably hard push this wave and dive him. Elioya's not in the area, and Alvaro still needs quite a bit of time.
That he does. MCOY need a lot more time. If they're
I think Supa can trade 1-for-1 though, maybe.
Get it. Gravity field there. They're just going to wander in at him, chomping.
Oh, this is so awkward.
Plate is there. Very slowly trying to kill this Victor. Leave the poor man alone. Razork grabs another.
Okay, it wasn't awkward. They just took their time, waited out the tower aggro, waited out the gravity field. And Fnatic, what a bounce back from game number 1. But also some big mistakes from MCOY. Don't get it twisted. They made really big mistakes, especially Supa now dying twice back-to-back. The first step was very much his bad. The second one was more a result of Alvaro getting caught in transition. But Fnatic as well getting the Drake as the cherry on top. Unless Alvaro snips him out. I mean, Razork is very chunked here. But I don't think Alvaro is going to go to check. So he's going to get away with this.
Is he going to die to Drake in pro play?
Is he gonna die to Drake in pro
He
play?
has no smite.
Okay, that would have been so funny.
Oh.
Lospa's here, Lospa's here.
If LoLEsports wasn't here.
Trade? He's healing and doing damage? I think Supa's dead.
I mean, the big thing is that...
Okay,
you
knock up.
might be right.
Go there, pull back. He has level 6. Feathers are flying. Dead. Wow.
This is pretty crazy.
I wish I could say I'd see the future, but it happened twice already.
I just thought there was no way he was going to die there, because, like, no way, you know what I mean?
Nocturne level 6, ulti?
Oh, he's in range.
No ulti for upset. Flash back to try to get away from Alvaro. And the dash coming through. Taunt connects. Fear connects onto upset. He will just fall here. So shut down for Elioya. We all had our moments. Everyone gets a stinker every now and then. I will say, if he doesn't turn it around pretty immediately...
He's dead again.
Oh, he's dead again. Okay. Ulti for the wave. Laura overheating, running him down.
He has flash, though, but he does not want to use it.
Okay.
Don't know why he didn't use
Alvaro
it.
now running in once again. JoJo Pune on the way. They're grouped up in the choke, though, but JoJo Pune keeping the fight going, and now it's Vladdy in trouble. Lost doing what he can, but it's Razork trying to run them down. MCOY turning it right back around. JoJo Pune ready to fall with another Q3. MCOY! You're 2,000 gold down! You're not supposed to be able to do that!
MCOY, they don't need an 80.
That said, now the game has evened out. Oh, never mind. Vladdy's in trouble. Elioya on the chase. JoJo Pune about to follow. Flash taunt in. Flash out from Vladdy. We're there to give them a bit more space. So that's Elioya's ulti down, as well as the flash coming out from Alvaro.
Left for flash, but Vladdy
Shockwave
gets the
back,
shockwave.
ulti out from Jojopyun once again. Well timed Q3 to get away from Razor, but the subjugate still ticking away. Doesn't do nearly enough to take Jojopyun out of the equation.
Could be Dragon though for Fnatic, since they were able to get Jojopyun so low. I think Razor is just going to start it.
I think
to clear the vision first.
Really important for Fnatic to not fight small skirmishes, and I like Drake's as a way to avoid doing that.
If Saburo lives here, it's very good, but I think he's just going to die. But that it's still a Dragon for Fnatic.
He's ahead. Ooh! That Gnar did not connect. But it doesn't matter, because the shutdown is still there.
Kill for MCOY. Nice TP by Jojopyun, not the cleanest of executions.
Okay, can I just say...
Cleared the wave though, but okay, Mirwin has to respect at least. He's worried about the dive. So it's a cross map from Fnatic. They're going to get some plates in the top side, while MCOY match it in the bottom side. LoLEsports is looking to try to defend.
Ooh, tower race.
I think I know who's winning this one.
I think it's pretty easy to see, I would say. MCOY. Oh, I was wrong. That's crazy. Oh, nice ulti here from Elyoya once again. Shockwave doesn't work on Elyoya. Dash through from Jojopyun. That's the combo they were looking for.
Okay, but LoLEsports, what are you doing? You need to rotate the bot. I don't know why he's just sitting around mid. Like, this is such an obvious play. No, Jojopyun, sorry.
Here we go. Oh, this is really good wave there. Well played by Jojopyun. Support now from Alvaro. Going in for a bit of cheeky extra poke there.
I'd say that's got chunk to half there.
This is kind of...
That's a lot of damage.
That he does. He's just walking forward as LoLEsports is now looking for the setup. They know there's no ulti available for Jojopyun, so they just want to keep that trade going.
Yo, this Trundle is strong. He just killed Alvaro.
I was too focused on the lack of CC and not focused on the absolute lack of survivability for the opposing team.
It's going to be the Herald, though, for MCOY. Cross maps back-to-back here. Neither team really wanting to fight an honest, straight-up fight.
You know what we're seeing is incredibly difficult for MCOY. Supa, a black hole of gold, unfortunately. So while they can win out on all these 2v2, 3v3 kind of skirmishes, they don't really feel comfortable enough to contest that big objective. And Fnatic breakneck speed.
Yeah, super early third Dragon. 16 minutes. This would be a soul for Fnatic at 21. And they have put MCOY on the timer now, on the clock. So they're going to have to fight them at that next Dragon. MCOY at least putting the Herald on top and getting some gold from that. They're not going to be able to get a second crash though, as LoLEsports is covering the weak side, helping Saburo clear out this Herald.
Good coverage there.
Kill the Herald. No.
You got it. 25 extra gold. Happy to have it. As he overheats, fastest soul.
Yeah, so if they were to get it now, like right as it spawns, it would be the fastest soul in LEC history.
And we've been setting a lot of records this week. Series yesterday for SK, we set the record for damage taken, damage dealt.
Not the flash.
Mirwin off on the side, though. They have to respect the flank. Jojopyun ready to go with the Q3. Yone has to make the difference here. Dash in Q3, ulti across the team. Upset goes up, but still gets knocked up, still gets caught out. Flashes away to safety. But the fight has fallen to pieces. Razor running for dear life, but it's a double kill for Supa, who's right back into the game.
Jojopyun, it's a 4 versus 5, yet he still just pulls the trigger and wins the fight. Alvaro with the follow-up as well. There was no counterplay for Fnatic. They grouped up too much, gave them the window. That means MCOY is going to get the Dragon, and they have their eyes on the Nashor as well. It's only Upset and Saburo up. I don't think they can try to stop them here. Mirwin does. He's in the bot lane, but he has the TP. Upset is just going to push this mid lane wave in.
And if MCOY win this game, it is an obvious Jojopyun player of the series. Game 1 and Game 2, he has been on fire. Certainly had some supporting members to set him up, but that was all him on the engage. Fnatic.
And Fnatic got to be kicking themselves, man. Like,
you had 3 Drakes.
They had 3 Drakes. They had really all the control.
Want to hold on to optimism for a player who's shown such high highs, but it has not been working out. It's a scrappy trade in the mid lane. Flash burned by Alvaro. Razor trying to walk his way out of this one. Not quite as tanky as he was in the early game, however. LoLEsports is now looking for the re-engage. Upset, though, good damage to try and zone away, but Supa hits like a truck. Mirwin goes in, forces the ulti out, but now it's a follow-up coming for Elyoya, but it looks like he clicked on LoLEsports instead of Upset. All right.
Elyoya might have misclicked that one, not able to take down Upset, but I feel like Upset did 20 auto attacks that fight and no damage. He's building towards the LDR, but this is also why we don't see This is why we've seen more mages recently. You can see that it takes a lot of time. He needs a lot of items to become useful.
But it's, okay, it's
His
not...
team is also not so useful.
Yeah, but this is the reason why we see Lucian banned and why we see Corki prioritized. Is like, Xayah
needs a lot.
Xayah's a 4-item AD carry, dude. She's not even a 3-item AD carry.
Oh,
We've talked
Elyoya.
about this so many times. Elyoya needs to be careful. He's about to get burned down. Shut down! Nice look for Fnatic, a little bit of mess there.
The thing with Xayah is that she needs here.
They don't have any control of their bot wave, their top wave, or their mid wave. They are spending about 1,000 gold. Try to group here as 5. Ospa backstepping, MCOY taking a ton of space. Mirwan about to go mega, but he's on a ward. If they wait for this to expire, maybe then they can re-engage.
Ospa needs to find the angle here.
Ulti off onto the side, looking to isolate Vladdy, giving access to Alvaro in the backline. Super untouched for now. Jojo Pune ulti in the midst of the team, but Upset making those feathers fly. Moving forward as Supa has been caught out. They're going to finish the kill onto the mage. Now the Drake is starting to reset. Fnatic might have done it. MCOY on the ropes as Upset remains untouched in this exchange. Jojo Pune trying to be a hero. The quick snack back, it's the Zhonya's. Mirwan about to go mega once again. LoLEsports now in trouble. The boulder toss. Mirwan ready to go. He gets one. Jojo Pune still standing. Saboro in trouble. Jojo gets another. Looking for the reset. But the soul goes to the side of Fnatic. It's a hot mess, but it's a mess in the favor of FNC. Upset and Razork frontlining. A double for the Trundle. Troll Drudge, Troll King, Troll Executioner.
Elyoya goes too deep with the paranoia. He doesn't have the follow-up. And Upset is able.
Feels impressive.
But MCOY don't care. They're starting up the Nash. Saboro is not here. He has the teleport, though.
Upset no flash, remember, from the previous fight, so it's going to be a lot harder for him to play out this one. MCOY getting chunked, though. Equalizer onto Supa. LoLEsports looking for the follow-up. Nice knock-up, nice interrupt from Alvaro to stop that quickness from being effective. Off on the side is Jojo Pune. He's already used the Q3. Gnar knocking 2 members into the wall. Upset isolated completely. Dash through from Jojo Pune is massive. Snap back, but the shielding is still there from LoLEsports just in time. Command Protect does its job as Vladdy keeps Upset standing. Supa drops down and Fnatic take the fight.
And Fnatic might have done it. They're pushing mid. They peeled off Upset. He didn't die. They want to end this game right here, right now.
Fnatic marching down the mid lane. Upset on the edge of death. But his team protects him. The soul empowering them. They don't even need the Baron. Jojo Pune, not enough. No way to stack the Q. The slow from the Hextech Soul. So frustrating.
I think Jojo could maybe do it. Alvaro's up in 1.
Yeah,
I don't think Fnatic can end.
Jojo Pune getting chunked out. Good damage. Now he's gone. Alvaro not able to get anything back. Trying to buy a bit more time. Elyoya walking in. Fnatic, this is risky. Nocturne can do decent damage here. Knockup isn't there. Flash in and on Upset. That's going to be 1 shutdown. Now they just need to hit the Nexus. Fnatic gonna finish the game and bring it to 1-1.
And Fnatic, they took down Jojo. If Jojo's mobility to play around this Gragas, to play around the Seraphine ult, and he has a lot of agency to carry this game. Saboro, I don't love the Jax pick. It's nice into the Xin Sao, it's nice into the Fnatic. But MCOY, they want to contest this.
It feels like a little bit safe. Elyoya, upper, just got a vision. Level 4, ready to kick the fight up, but if Supa dies, it might not matter. The barrier's there, a little bit of extra shielding, but Supa's now gonna fall. Beagle Temple fully stacked for Upset. They should at least be able to kill Razork, but can Elyoya make it out to safety? Flash away, LoLEsports and Upset chasing down Alvaro, desperate to get 1 more kill to further push this in their favor. Flash forward from LoLEsports, he takes another. Elyoya debating if he can go back in because it's Jojo Pune on the way forward. Flash, 5-point strike into the Shroud, looking for the Shuriken flip, connects onto Upset, wants to finish off, wants to go for full style points. Elyoya grabs 1, Jojo will grab the other.
Jojo, are you kidding me? The Fnatic bot lane made
level
6 is not a very scary champion. It's really at that spike that she starts to ramp up. Now MCOY are pushing forward. LoLEsports has no flash, continues getting slowed.
Becomes lightning connects, LoLEsports will fall. Nice angle from the side of MCOY. Upset continues to fight, but it's going to be forced back.
This. I think Fnatic can be really, really happy with this cross map. They're not going to have any pressure to dive Mirwan.
Jojo Pune on the way. Is Upset going to die as well? LoLEsports immediately pop. TP to the bottom lane.
Mirwan is pushing in the top side as well. Going to pick up the first tower top. Fnatic are winning all across the board here. No,
MCOY, yeah, no. Fnatic are spectating all across the board here. They have to watch top lane tower fall. They watch the Drake fall.
He's still making his presence known as Fnatic wants to invade.
And of course, but Mirwan is here too. This is not the fight that they were looking for. Wild Growth used. EQ combo interrupted! The knockback stops it from connecting. Mirwan gonna grab that kill.
Mirwan doesn't need to fight Saboro because he can just use his Q on the wave.
Oh,
didn't get spotted.
Vladdy going in, quick stun, Bear is there, Counter-Strike is there, good damage on Mirwan, they know he has no ultimate, trying to heal him as much as he can. Saboro getting the shutdown. Mirwan and myself overestimating his tankiness there when Vladdy is in the picture, but MCOY
No slouches of their own.
Continuing to trade up, although it is 1-1 in Drake's. But I think there's probably some nerves also present on both sides, because you just...
I want to fight for the red buff here.
Razor comes lightning. Alvaro, good angle to get the fight kicked off. 2 members charmed up. Arrow immediately in onto Razor. He doesn't even have time to push a single button. Sobero in the midst of 4. Counter-Strike a decent start. Has to leave Strike away, but it's knocked back by Mirwin into the waiting arms of all 5 members of MCOY. Jojo trying to get tricky with it. Nice knock up on the wild growth. Immediate polymorph to follow. The second half of Shuriken Flip will take him away and out to safety. MCOY starting to dominate in this game 3.
It's a disaster for Fnatic. 2 members down. They're going to lose the tier 2 as well. Razork went too deep with the EQ, and it cost them so much. So Yoyo is going to get the drift. It's going to hit the tower.
Oh,
he
okay.
missed.
All right. I think it should just keep going until you hit a tower, personally. I don't think it should time out. I think you should be able to drive as long as you want.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit of context. Akali spawned with a Hextech alternator, so
That's
it is
true.
a little bit tough. Okay, well, there you go.
What the hell?
Support delete, Season 3, baby. He's deleting supports. That's going to be ulti from Vladdy, though. It's a good stall. Razork there ready to follow. Mega Blast Cone knocks JoJo so far back with the E2. Already ready on to upset. Upset forced to flash away. Saburo with the Counter-Strike. Decent damage down, but he needs so much time if he wants to work through those health bars. Flash over the wall from Vladdy. Knock back on the cast coming in from Mirwin. Getting lower and lower as Elyoyo tries to hold the line. JoJo looking for an angle in, but it's Mirwin down. Elyoyo looks like he might be next to follow as Vladdy grabs the shutdown. E2 from JoJo is big. Flashed over the wall to take him away. Razork flashing over to give Saburo away to continue chasing. Mega Blast Cone there for JoJo. One auto, the shutdown! Triple shutdowns for
Plays this
Fnatic!
fight really nice, really patiently. The fact that he's able to pick up upset in the back half shows how skilled he is on this account.
Sobero on the backside. Upset still standing for now, trying to get as much space as possible. Likely just going to fall to Jojo Pune in the meantime, but what else can they get done? Vladdy getting lower and lower. The split fight, though. Sobero has to make the difference. Elyoyo down. Razork probably likely to follow. The bear continues to chase, but Jojo Pune remains relatively untouched and almost single-handedly carries that fight for him. Looking to collapse onto Alvaro, stopping the ulti from coming through, which just barely clips Upset. Nice start, forcing out an early cleanse. Off to the side is Vladdy, though. He isn't going to do a damn thing! He stacks the stun up just to die. It's once again, Jojo Pune has a good angle. He and Elyoyo tag teaming through the fight. All of MCOY collapsing now onto Fnatic. Upset untouched over the wall, but he just doesn't have the time or the space to get anything done. A good wild growth, a good counter-strike. But Jojo Pune still pushing forward, looking for a little bit more. Elyoyo debating if they can push for the dive. For now, though, happy to look at the last man standing. It is Upset standing alone under this tower. Nowhere left to go. Elyoyo grabs the kill.
And MCOY, they strike back, getting 2 kills of their own. Fnatic were the ones to start the play.
Again, I think proactive engage for both Alvaro and Elyoyo is like the key to success for
Razork is going
MCOY.
to face check Mirwin here.
Body slam, combo, knocked back into Elyoyo. Immediate follow-up, arrow coming through as well. Razork, the wild growth going to be used. Vladdy off to the side. They have to kill Jojo Pune, but he's in the shroud. They polymorph him. They turn him into a little snowbound, and now they're going to try to send him packing in a body bag. But all they get is a quick dash out and a pick onto Razork.
Razork, he face checks into Mirwin, and the fight just doesn't start out how Fnatic wants it. It's going to be the Drake for MCOY. Probably not much else, since they don't want to look for the Nash. I feel like MCOY maybe just could have went for the Nash instead of the Dragon. That's what their prize shall be in spawns, but he just doesn't probably think that Mirwin is there, so he ends up just dying. They're nearly able to pick up Jojo, but not quite enough. The Mertred saving him there. As MCOY are able to pick up a tier 2 as well, feeling pretty good about themselves, making the gold league go back up to 5,000.
Exposed carry could cost them the game. They're grouping mid. Side waves in a relatively good spot, and now a pretty fast collapse here on Elyoyo. They spot Jojo Pune. Hopefully they spot the TP as well. They're all immediately turning them without Akali out of the picture, but she's in this round already, and it's an amazing ult from Alvaro. Silvero goes golden right as the McHale's comes in. It's a coordination disaster for Fnatic and a masterclass from MCOY.
And Alvaro, he hits them with the ultimate and he seals their fates. MCOY, they get the Nash, they get 3 kills. And it has to feel like it's all over for Fnatic. That was the last chance to try to pick up Elyoyo, but they just don't have the position that they need to do to really do so. Oh, they want to go into Jojo, but I don't think they can. TP behind from Mirwin. Mirwin has the flash. He could go, but doesn't want to go too deep here.
All right. Couple piece of bread, nothing between. Bit of a nothing burger there as MCOY now keeping the pressure up. They're not even resetting. I think it makes a lot of sense. You're already so powerful, you know there's not really anything that Fnatic are going to be able to pick up. Yes, it's 3 items for Upset, but he doesn't have any armor pen either. knocking open the base, taking down an inhibitor. Would be a good position to be in. Still got JoJo splitting for the 4-1.
JoJo is both with no TP. Maybe Fnatic, it's so hard to engage though.
They off on the side. Vladdy desperate.
Oh, Saburo really deep TP. This looks really
An awkward one. Now JoJo immediately gets back on, trying to hold on to the upset. The shutdown is there though, and upset is still standing. Elyoya pressing guard, keeping him alive for now. Flash forward, ulti there. Ulti back up for Alvaro though, holding the line. The arrow connects onto Laspa. Silvero wants to do something, but there's just too much damage on this MCOY lineup. They finally killed JoJo, and it might just cost them the game.
You may slay JoJo, but you won't kill anybody else. MCOY, they're looking at their nexus. Eyes set. Fnatic want to try to defend. Upset is up. Vladdy, can he find the stun?
But it just doesn't feel like enough. Super raining fire down on those towers. Dash in for Mirwin, immediately polymorph. Decent damage coming in for Upset, but it's just not enough. There's too many members of MCOY standing right in melee range, ready to knock them down. At the end of the day, it's MCOY coming out on top.
JoJo, Pune, and Elio.